Hey, Grace. Now would be a really good time to say we're starting. I'm sorry. Now would be a really good time to tell people we're starting. That's a nice meditation.
Good morning. We'll be starting in a minute, and if you would please silence your cell phones, I would appreciate that. Thank you. Good morning. My name is Grace McManus, for those who don't know me, and I'm the practitioner of the day. And welcome to our pre-service meditation. What we'll meditate on for today is for people that might have sometimes difficulty in learning to connect to everything. And that one of our teachings is that how we are all divinely connected. So I want you to kind of keep that in the foreground of your mind as I read the meditation. Now relax your entire body from head to your head to your toes, bringing your attention inward. Let us set this intention to feel our connection to everything and everybody around us. Let us ensure that our sanctuary is a place of peace and serenity. When you feel ready, you may close your eyes and allow all your attention to center on your breath. Let it be soft and gentle as your belly rises on every inhale and falls on every exhale. Take a moment to just concentrate on your breath. Now, become aware that this air that you are breathing is the same air everyone and everything is breathing. Not only everyone listening here in this sanctuary and across timelines, but all the loved ones that came before you and all those who will come after you. Tune into this logical connection between you and all of life. Remember that connection between you and all of life. For now, rest in the breath and in the interconnectivity that the breath brings. You can feel that we are all connected through breath. Let us travel within and allow our awareness to settle into that space in the middle of our chest and a couple of inches inward. This is your heart's energy center. Your heart's energy center. Drop your awareness into your heart so that all your attention is focused there. Keep moving inwards. Now, identify a cell in your heart center and travel in. You recognize that space is relative. You now see this space as spacious and vast. Tune in further until you see an atom in this cell. While we normally view the atom as microscopic, in this moment, view this atom as spacious. Pay attention to this space. This space is alive, not empty. Feel yourself inside this space, a space of pure potentiality. This is the energy that created you and everything else. It is what this energy does. It animates you and everything, everywhere. Take a moment to reflect on that. Now tune into what this vibration of understanding feels like and affirm to yourself, I am one with all that there is. I am one with all that there is. Know that you are an expression of divine consciousness, the same infinite consciousness that created everything. We are all varieties of the one and same energy. We are all varieties of the one and the same energy. Feel your soul light up as it returns home to the divine oneness of all that there is. Rest in the space of pure potentiality. Not just the space in yourself, but that which is everywhere, all the time, throughout all space. It is all one, and it is all love. It is all one, and it is all love. Now, relax in this feeling of interconnectivity and carry it with you as you return your attention to the room in which you are sitting. Remember, for today, we are all individual expressions of love. Thank you very much for being here. You may return your attention to the sanctuary. Namaste.
Good morning. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living here in Prescott. Whether you're here or online, you're welcome just as you are. I see more joy in our faces and our sanctuary every week. So if you're online, you're missing out. I'm Tom Kimberly, part of your leadership team. Thank you, Grace, for the pre-service meditation. And I do want to thank each and every one of your support for the growth of our center. Whether you're volunteering or working hard, our employees, our tithing, our center continues to grow because of you. After service today at 12:30, we're having a newcomer meeting. So far, we have 4 signed up, but there's always room for you. Our circles are a great way to get involved and get to know other members. Our classes are a great way to learn about our principles and the change of your life in the magnificent person you were meant to be. And don't forget our t-shirt fundraiser. See your bulletin for details. So far, we've raised about $341. So thanks to you for participating. Also on the desk out in front is a copy of our bylaws. It was several months ago that I discovered we were missing a bunch of pages out of our previous bylaws. And so with the help of a lot of people, we've rewritten them. We started with a template that came down from our corporate office in Denver. And so I think we're pretty well set. The board has approved them. And with your blessing, we'll call for a vote in about 30 days and see if the congregation wants to approve them. With that, have a great day. Blessings to you all.
Good morning. So before we say the invocation, I would just like to let the people that are probably here for the first time know that we read a sacred covenant prayer, which is designed to welcome in our new minister. So there'll be about 6 slides, and they'll be on the screen for us to read. So if you'll just settle yourself down, we'll begin. There is only one life. This life is good. This life is God's life. This life is my life now. In knowing that I am one with this life that is God, I therefore know that I am one with all of its blessed expressions, which includes the presence of a new minister for my beloved spiritual community. Because I know that the highest purpose of my new minister is to glorify God, I therefore know that my new minister is a revelation of God as love. I further know that my new minister is the fulfillment of that which has been promised by God, for it is written that love is the bridge between you and everything. As I stand in agreement with my beloved community, I see my new minister before me as revealing truth as love, wholeness, and joy. I now intend to experience my new minister in full cooperation and agreement with my community, knowing this truth about myself. For I am fully grounded in principle, inspiring, loving expression of our best selves. I am nurturing and empowering our spiritual growth in consciousness, oneness, and wisdom. I am recognizing the vanity of a situation, and I wisely calling forth the truth. I am expanding personal consciousness through studies of diverse spiritual teaching. I am enriching our spiritual lives through music and arts. As I now accept the highest expression of a new minister in my life, I know that it will be revealed in a way that will glorify God and serve the highest and greatest good of all who are touched by their presence. I am grateful. God is gracious. Thank you. So for today, our invocation will be a little different. Today is September 11th, and for those of you who were here or alive during that time, you will remember the devastating terrorist attacks that took place on our country on September 11th, 2001. So that day, almost 3,000 people lost their lives. And we established a day of celebration called Patriots Day. Its purpose is to pay honor and remember all those people who lost their lives that day. To all those innocent bystanders, the first responders, and the Flight 93, which crashed in Pennsylvania, where they diverted the flight from hitting a building in Washington, D.C. So I would like for us today to just take and hold a moment of silence in remembrance of that day. And I will let you know when you can come back into the room. Thank you very much. Namaste.
Oh, good morning, everybody. Thanks, Grace. That was powerful. It's a song by Michael Gott that reminds us that the universe is on our side and all that we need comes to us. Toe tapping is encouraged. Goes like this, sing along. But all that I need comes to me. Wow, y'all sound good today. But all that I need comes to me. The light of love and grace that shines upon my face. With all that I need comes to me. Well, I've been set free, I'm released. Oh, I've been set free, I'm released. The burdens of my past gone away at last. Well, I've been set free, I'm released. The sweet rain that washes me clean. The sweet rain that washes me clean. The mind creates creates all things, into my life they breathe. It washes me clean. All that I need comes to me. All that I need comes to me. The light of love and grace shines upon my face. All that I need comes to me. The light of love and grace shines upon my face. All that I need comes to me. And so it is.
So it is. Oh, all that I need comes to me. Yes. Oh, beautiful. Oh, and welcome. Whether you're here in person or to those of you who are online, good morning and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living here in Prescott, where we provide spiritual tools to make this world a better place. Doesn't that sound awesome? Oh, how wonderful and joyous it is for me to see all these beloved expressions of the divine, for you are the face of God. Oh, just feel the energy in this room, in this sanctuary. Take a look around. Feel this energy. Look at these faces of God. Our sanctuary. To me, that means a place of safety, a place of refuge, a place where hearts come together. And so in that joining of the hearts, please know that wherever you've been, whatever you've done, whatever life experiences you may have had, whatever self-judgments you may have about yourself, however you judge others, please know that you are entirely welcome here today. Just the way you are, and just the way that you perceive that you are not. Because we see you through the eyes of divine love. And so therefore we know and affirm that you are valued, complete, and perfect in absolutely every single way. My name is Hazel Bowman, and with me on this platform is Grace McManus. She and I are part of your circle of licensed practitioners that serve this center. Now, Grace is serving as the practitioner of the day, so she did that beautiful pre-service meditation. I don't know if you had a chance to hear it. It was beautiful. Also, she did helped us call forth our new minister, knowing that that perfect individual is already manifesting. She did thank you for the invocation. And she'll also be doing what we call our in-service meditation before she departs this platform and do what we refer to as high watch over there in that corner, where we know that absolutely everything is unfolding in divine right order, in divine right orchestration. You know, one of the things about being practitioner is that we get to have a lot of fun here at the center. We help maintain the spiritual consciousness of the center, but we also enjoy teaching and praying. Oh, those are two of our favorite things of all to do. And so for the prayers, what I'm going to encourage you to do, because remember, if we love to pray, we've got to have someone to pray for. So you've got to help us out here. Here is our prayer card. If for some reason you find yourself, being out of alignment with all the good that divine life has in store for you, or maybe you want to unburden your heart. And remember, if you've been hurt, it's okay to say ouch. But if you want to unburden your heart or whatever, here's some ways to do it. You can fill out the Ministry of Prayer card that's in your seat pocket before you. What you would do then is outside the sanctuary door is the prayer box. Just put that in there. We, the practitioners, will be praying on that for an entire week, knowing the spiritual truths. You may join us even in consciousness tomorrow at 10 a.m. when the practitioners gather as we start our week of prayer. And or, don't you just love that there's options? You're not limited to one. You can come on up here after service And you can have what we refer to as the 3-minute miracle with one of the practitioners who are on duty, who are wearing the purple stole, and share with them what you want to experience, and let us know that spiritual truth with you in bringing it into your life. And or you can also meet one-on-one with a practitioner. This is where it lasts about an hour, but this is where you have an opportunity to go even deeper, perhaps even finding those perceived blocks, shall we say, or obstruction that prevent you in knowing that divine good that is always there. Just so many ways of doing it. And the beautiful part of all of this is that there are so many paths in knowing our divinity and knowing that presence that we call as God. So I invite the candlelighters to please step forward. Because we here at the Center for Spiritual Living honors all faith traditions. As we light a candle for the world's religions, it is to acknowledge both our multiplicity and our unity.
Christianity, based on the teachings of Jesus the Christ, who taught that the path of love, forgiveness, and healing by the presence within.
For Islam, the practice of submitting to the will of God as revealed to his prophet, peace be upon him, who taught that there is one God, creator of the heaven and of earth.
For Judaism, a community of shared laws, traditions, and family ties which began with the covenant between Abraham and God.
For Buddhism, the middle path that ends suffering and awakens mindfulness and compassion.
For Hinduism, the path of knowledge, action, and devotion.
For Native American traditions and those who walk the Good Red Road, including the people of the sun, better known as the Yavapai.
For the Baha'i, the path of unity and peace.
For the goddess traditions, embracing the divine feminine as maiden, mother, and crone, or wisdom keeper.
And for the science of mind, which is the philosophy of life that teaches there is a power for good in the universe and we can use it.
Thank you, ladies. And so at this time, I invite you to add your words to all of this and say this affirmation with me. We are here for God. Our purpose is to express the nature of God as love, abundance, and joy in everything we do. The good we seek for ourselves is what we desire for all people everywhere. And so it is.
I know a lot of people have a similar experience to my coming here. You walk in and you find people saying things that you've thought for a while, and it's like, oh, there's a group that does this. Though I don't think he's officially involved yet with CSL, it may not be surprising that Willie Nelson is already practicing CSL. And this is one of his songs about the importance of thought in shaping your reality. It's called Energy Follows Thought. Sing along if you can. Imagine what you want, then get out of the way. Remember, energy follows thought, so be careful what you say. Be careful what you ask for,
make sure it's really what you want, because your mind is made for thinking, and energy follows thought. Well, your mind is in control, even when you do not know. And if you let it idle, ain't no telling where to go. Whenever you are sleeping and your dreams take you away, go on with your dreaming and listen to what they say. And if you hear spirits talking, the wisdom can't be born. Apply it to your thinking, and energy follows thought. Your mind is in control, even though you may not know. And if you let it idle, ain't no telling where to go. So imagine what you want, then get out of the way. Remember, energy follows thought, so be careful what you say. Remember, energy follows thought, so be careful what you say. Remember, energy follows thought, so be careful what you say.
So, energy follows thought. Is not that a perfect encapsulation of the philosophy of the science of mind? What we think about become things. What we believe on a deep level becomes our reality. So let's be aware, become aware of what you are actually thinking and feeling on a very deep level. Let's contemplate that for a moment. What are you thinking and believing on a very deep level? What is the truth? We'll take a moment to reflect on that. So now just remember that thought for today, that energy, your energy will follow whatever you're thinking about today. Namaste.
And our soloist today has a lot of energy. On any given week, she is performing anywhere around the Southwest, including Arizona, California, Colorado, singing in one of 5 different languages, but today she's singing in English in Prescott at CSL Prescott. This is Juliet Lapointe.
Bonjour, mes amis. This is a love song to the divine. Have I told you lately that love you? Have I told you there's no one above you? You fill my heart with gladness, take away my sadness, ease my troubles, that's what you do. Well, the morning sun and all its glory greets the day with hope and comfort too. Yeah, you fill my heart with laughter, somehow you make it better, ease my troubles, that's what you do. There's a love that's divine, and it's yours and it's mine like the sun. And at the end of the day, we should give thanks and praise to the one and say, have I told you lately that I love you? Have I told you there's no one above you? You fill my heart with gladness, take away my sadness, ease my troubles, that's what you do. I feel like dancing.
Oh, thank you, Jill. And I got to tell you, first, how she can hit those high notes, I have no idea this early in the morning. And, oh, yes, we do love you, too. And you and Bob do a great dance routine together. So, one of the joys being a service leader is always introducing our guest speaker. Now, the challenge with this guest speaker is that she's been here more than once, and every single time that we start telling you about her background, we can't complete it all. It's just because her accomplishments, her talents just fill more than one page, okay, of everything. So every time we introduce her, you're going to hear something a little bit new about her. But Dr. Carmen Smith, I'm going to share with you, she's got more initials after her name than anybody I can think of. Dr. Carmen Smith, MSW, CSW, DD. I mean, my goodness, she's also a CEO. That, I think a lot of people know there. But she's a metaphysical minister. She's a spiritual teacher. She's a mental health therapist, and she is the author of the book called The I Am Solution, and which is a beautiful step-by-step spiritual psychological journey through her own trauma onto triumph. I could go on, but I'm looking forward to introducing her even later on, so we can have even more things to share about her. But right now, please join me in a warm welcome to our beloved Dr. Carmen Smith.
Thank you. Let me take you in. It's been a minute. I think I was here in June, and so that's a very long time. So let me take you in. How are you guys doing? You look beautiful. I'm doing awesome, and in heaven all the time, and in heaven now that I'm with you all. My topic today is healing is the discovery of the divinity within. Now, I ran across that quote from Ernest Holmes, and what stuck out to me was discovery, which means that it's there, but it's lost. It's like you lost your keys, and now you have to go discover where they are. So it's not saying that you have to create something. It's that we have to discover something that's already there. So divinity is already within us. And we have to discover it, and when we do, we're healed. Now, when I say healed, you might think physical. Yeah, okay, think physical. You might think mental health. Yes, think mental health. But I want to talk about all of those things wrapped up in how you see the world. That can be healed. Now, I don't know if you know this, but especially in the United States, we have a racism problem. Yes, I said it. Whew, I'm glad I got that out of the way. Because I want to use this in the context of healing is the discovery of the divinity within. And until we discover our own divinity, we're going to continue to have heinous racism. Can I get a round of applause on that? Because I read that quote from Ernest Holmes, and I just start putting it on things that need to be healed. And I said, yes, that would be healed if we found our own divinity. And I want to talk about how heinous racism is because it changes how we see each other. It changes how we treat each other. And Ernest Holmes and the people on this stage have been talking about the divinity is within us, and it changes our thoughts. And it does. And when we don't have it, it creates thoughts of fear and the other. Let me tell you something. I was doing a practice. I started it probably about 10 years ago. Every morning, I started writing down, who am I? I am, and I would just fill it in from the ether, from God speaking to me. And I would just fill in the blank. And then I would say, my purpose is, and I would fill in the blank. And do you know, for the first year, I would say, my purpose is to help others. And then the second year, I couldn't write others because that was false. There is no other. Let me explain that. The creation story, you've probably heard it before. There was this big light, and it was God. And then it splintered off into little lights onto this 3D plane. It's like a prism. When you put a light through a prism, what comes out on the other side is all the rainbow colors. So that's us. We're light, we're God, but then we wanted to be splintered. We want to be separate. We wanted to see what life would be like without God. Crazy, right? So we come down to this earth, and we're not separate. We're still the light, but there are all of these things that make us think we're separate and keep us in fear. And one of them is to say, blacks are this, Muslims are this, Hindus are this, all of this crazy nonsense. And we come up with this concept called other. And I don't need to tell you about Democrats and Republicans, do I? Because I hope you're putting that all in the same soup, because it is silly soup. And, right? And so we think we're separate, and it is an illusion. So after 2 years, I couldn't write other because, Carmen, there's no such thing. That is a construct to keep us in fear. And when we're in fear, we're not in the mind of God. And when you're not in the mind of God, let me show you what happens. I have a slide that will show you frequency. So these are those rainbow colors I was telling you about. The lower ones are root chakra. These are the ones that have to do with fear and separation and guilt and shame. And the reason we don't talk about racism is because we don't want anybody to feel guilt and shame. That's not the purpose of talking about it. The purpose of talking about it is to have the courage to look at it and see how we are dismembered. And then once we have the courage, we can move right on up there. And that's where those creative, wonderful divinity thoughts come from. This is the mind of God when you start talking about joy and peace and how you can remember who we are. Because there are forces out there that want to keep you down here, and this is destructive. And we want to move everybody within our hearts. But if our hearts are in blame and guilt and shame, it affects the other person. And remember I said there is no other? So whatever I feel, it's called entanglement. It's going to affect you. So why would somebody want to keep somebody else down in an oppressive inferiority thing when actually it's going to affect you negatively too, but you just don't know it? You see, we're all one. And if you put your foot on somebody's neck, it's going to affect you too. That brings me to 2020 with George Floyd. 9 minutes. We first thought it was 8 minutes, and that was pretty bad. Then when they really counted, it was 9 minutes on a person's neck while they're wanting to breathe. Now, nobody wants to look at it. Nobody wants to face it. But what it can bring up in people is a lot of anger, shame, and guilt. Well, we can stay down there, but we'll destroy each other. It's called entanglement. What do? Well, I can tell you what I did. My son is in his 20s, and when that happened, he was filled with rage. He was filled with shame. Why don't people like the color of my skin? Why is the color of my skin something to be feared? And if you look at the media, if you look at all of the crazy propaganda we've been taught, you can understand that it's all instruction in the matrix. And so I didn't want my son to be filled with anger. I didn't want my son to have low self-esteem. And so what I did was, during the pandemic, is I said, you know, there's lots of marches going on, and I don't have a problem with marches. We'll go march. But why don't we do this also? We made up some cards on the kitchen table, and they said, I love you. And they said, you know, I have compassion for you. It said things like, we're the same. How are you doing today? I care about you. So we had about 50, maybe 100 cards that we had made up. And we put a big placard on our car, one of those magnetic placards, and it said, love is all there is. And we got in our car and we headed to the national parks. So we went to Utah. We went to Nevada. We went to Idaho. We went to Montana. and we were handing out cards. Now, these are white places. But we didn't want our heart to be closed, and I didn't want my son's heart to be closed. I didn't want him going to a therapist because I'm a therapist, and he was depressed. So I said, let's go out and let's be love. Let's get in the mind of God. Let's go and show people that, yeah, this was a horrible thing that happens. And the United States has a cancer of racism, but I'm not going to be stuck in anger, and I'm not going to be stuck in fear. I'm going to go out and I'm going to show who I am, but not just who I am. It's who everybody is, regardless of the color of their skin. How crazy is that? We talk about that in Science of Mind. We talk about how our thoughts follow our action. But every day, are you remembering? We went on a trip to remember who we are and who you are, who we all are. And when things come up on TV that try to and if we don't look at racism because we're afraid to go into shame or guilt about what's going on and what has happened in history, then we're going to stay in destructive mode. It's not that time anymore. This is a time to bring it to the surface, to talk about it, to embrace it, and wonderful things happen when you do that. I just had a beautiful prayer just before service, and Hazel said to me as we were praying, we have divine blood within us. This is a Caucasian woman. I think I'm African American. This is what they tell me this is. It's melanin, and it's a skin coating that protects you from the sun, and oftentimes we're called sun-kissed. But I think in this galaxy, in this 3D dimension, they call it all kinds of names. But let me just tell you, we have divine blood in us. We are from God's stuff, stardust. We have the mind of God in us. We are vessels of love, joy, peace. And when you get it, they call that enlightenment. When you combine yourself and align yourself with the one, which we all are, we just have to discover it again, then we are one with God, and I can say, as I'm still, I am God. When I'm still, I am God. And when I say that, I'm not just saying it about me. I'm giving you permission to discover it within you. I love you guys so much. You feel that, right? Precious, precious, precious. Let's take a good breath right here. And let's love on each other. So as we begin to let this all seep in to every cell of our body, we allow ourselves to be the most powerful being, which is the realization of who we've always been. We are all divine love, divine joy, with divine peace. That's who we've always been. We take a deep breath. in this silence. We present also a covenant to remember. So each day, we take those parts of ourselves, and this could be moment by moment, those parts of ourselves that have been programmed a certain way, and we rewrite the script, because now we have permission to know who we are. We are divinity. It is not blasphemous to say and state who you are and who you've always been. It is a joy. And so each day we find ways to remember, and taking out that other out of our vocabulary. We are entering into an age where we cannot deny the oneness. This is what gives us supreme power. That we are not afraid of it. We embrace it. We own it. And we are enlightened by it. We will, and we are remembering. And so it is. Press, okay.
Isn't she absolutely magnificent? You honor and bless us. And I'll also mention, if you want to just get to know Dr. Carmen a little bit more with her teaching, you have a workshop coming up. It's 2 weeks, on Saturday, September 24th. It's, I'm going to let you give the name of it. It's from 9 to 12. What is the name?
It's about my book, The I Am Solution, and I'm going to be talking about how fear is just a construct. It is nothing, really, but a powerful construct. But we can get through it and get to the love of God within us.
Yes, it's walking with illuminated power. And you already have 10 people who've signed up already. I'd love to see the list a little bit longer for her. Oh, so thank you so much again. Oh, you know, one of the joys that we have here in this center is being able to provide these sort of wonderful guest speakers. And so at this time, I'm going to ask the ushers to please step forward, because this is our time now in supporting this center and all that we do with our operations, with our guest speaker, all the building maintenance that goes on under the fabulous stewardship of our Board of Trustees. And so, but at this time, I'm going to ask that you take your love offering, whatever it is, and I ask that you place it over your heart. Just do that. You're the heartbeat of God. Everything you give with your heart. All that love. And so with that, I'm going to ask, and you online, you can see there on the screen where you can text or go ahead and go on to CSLPrescott.org. You may give through there. But let's say this affirmation together. Divine love in and through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, life. Oh, love it. And Miss Juliet, if you could grace us with another one of your fabulous songs, and if we can start tapping music, our feet with you, I'd love that too. Okay.
I'd love to dedicate this song to all of you, and if you will indulge me, a special dedication to the man who, in 13 days, becomes my husband. I love you, Dick. It must have been cold there in the shadows to never have sunlight on your face. You were content to let me shine. You always walked a step behind. I was the one with all the glory, while you were the one with all the faith. A beautiful face without a name, a beautiful smile to hide the pain. Did you ever know that you're my hero and everything I would like to be? I could fly higher than an eagle, 'cause you are the wind beneath my wings. Did something get in your eye? It might have appeared to go unnoticed, but I've got it all here in my heart. I want you to know I know the truth. I would be nothing without you. Did you ever know that you're my hero and everything I would like to be? I could fly higher than an eagle, 'cause you are the wind beneath my wings. Did I ever tell you you're my hero? And you're everything, everything I wish I could be. I could fly higher than an eagle, 'cause you are the wind beneath my wings. You are the wind beneath my wings. Oh, the wind beneath my wings. You're the wind beneath my wings.
Oh, magnificent message, magnificent music. I mean, is this a magnificent day or what? Oh, for those of you who are joining us for the first time, or maybe it's been a while since you've been here, we would absolutely love it if you would stand up and maybe introduce yourself and share where you're from so that we can go ahead and say hi to you. Is there anyone who's here for the first time that would like to stand? Yes.
Hi, I'm David H. Calloway, aka Son Wolf, recently moved here from Central Washington, and thank you for all your years. You're precious.
Love it. Welcome. Oh, anyone else that we can say hi to for the first time? Ah. Yes, go ahead.
Barbara Baird, North Hollywood Church of Religious Science in North Hollywood, California. Also part of Considered for Spiritual Living.
Barbara, wonderful. Are you friends with Sabrina? Because I know she's from that area. Don't know her at all. Okay, we're going to deny that. How wonderful. Please know that our gift, anybody else? Please know that we have a gift for you, and that is in our bookstore. You'll see an area of used books. Please help yourself to those. It's just one of our ways of saying hi, welcome. Want you to learn a little bit more about the spiritual principles that we stand in. Oh, anybody else? Okay, then. Well, then this is the best part for me. Jackson, are you ready? This is for the younger adults that are in this center. Let us welcome the Children's Association of Awesomeness. Let's come on in. Whoa, top hat and all. We need to hear about this. Do you want to, Seamus, you want to share?
So we talked about creativity, basically, and how, like, a person, how do I say this? Like, all the qualities from a person, so, like, creativity, opportunity, that type of stuff. And so we ended off class with a project where we basically took either water bottles or a box and we made something out of it. What are you doing? And right now I'm making, so it's very confusing. So I'm making a rocket ship that's also a pencil holder.
Anything else?
No. I'm making a kaleidoscope.
I'm making a planter.
Oh, I love it. You guys have so much fun. And by the way, a couple of weeks from now, on October 30th, we're going to be asking people to dress up in costumes so that we can go ahead and have a good time celebrating Halloween here as well. That hat would be an excellent addition. I might want to borrow that. With that, let us go ahead and just know right now all is well. Let us say our benediction, if we may, that's here on the screen, which is something wonderful. Please stand in if you like. I see some people standing, so let's stand all together and we'll start it all over again. All right. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is happening through my mind, my body, and my affairs. I think it, I believe it, I feel it, I know it, I accept it. Thank you, life. And thank you all.